is to be done is to create a left alternative to these two horrible choices that we're being faced with now, progressive neoliberalism or reactionary populism. I propose that we call this left alternative progressive populism, but I understand that as a transition to a democratic, feminist, ecologically conscious socialism, anti-racist, anti-imperialist socialism. When second wave feminism erupted in the 1960s and 1970s, it was very much part of the New Left and part of this worldwide global upsurge of youth, of anti-imperialism. It was the era of the Vietnam War, of the Civil Rights Movement, Black Power. Second wave feminism developed a radical anti-capitalist and anti-imperialist and anti-racist character. It was part of the beginnings of the crisis of state-managed capitalism. What we got from that crisis was the beginning of neoliberalization of what we now see as financialized, globalizing capitalism. Second wave feminism began to gravitate in a liberal direction. Now, in the United States, that's always the default position for any social movement. We're a country that doesn't have a robust structural understanding of how inequality and oppression and injustice is rooted in the deep structure of a capitalist society. And it increasingly became what I would call a meritocratic movement as opposed to an egalitarian movement. The idea was that you try to dismantle forms of discrimination that keep quote unquote talented women from rising to the top of the corporate hierarchy. On this model, gender equality essentially means women of the professional managerial class should be equal to men of the professional managerial class. It doesn't actually mean developing an egalitarian society across the board. Now, as far as I was concerned, with the breakout of the 2007-2008 financial crisis, suddenly the whole idea of neoliberal, globalizing, financialized capitalism came into question. And then all of the subsequent responses, the rise of right-wing populism and so on, we began to see a revolt against neoliberalism. It began to look shaky. And this is what I think of as the third act of the drama, and that's an opening for a new kind of feminism.